Hey Travis, is this a good time?
Hey there, Emily. Sure, I'm good right now.
First off, I'm glad to hear you were released from the hospital.
Thanks, it's great to be out.
And you're coming back home tonight, right?
Yep, I'm actually almost at the station already.
That's great.
Yeah, I should be getting there right on schedule at about 4:30.
I'll come and pick you up.
Thanks, Emily.
Seriously though, collapsing on the job from overwork? That's just insane. When I heard that you were taken to the hospital in an ambulance from your office, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. And that's not even your regular assignment. You were only transferred from the main office temporarily because the branch office was short-staffed. And here I am, your fiancé, unable to come and see you because you're so far away. I feel so bad I haven't been able to support you, Travis.
You don't need to feel bad about anything, Emily. I'm sorry I made you so worried about me, but I'm fine now. I'll be going back to my regular duties at the main office next week, so I'll be able to relax and get back into the swing of things at my own pace. Plus, I think this experience has given me some great insights that the company can use going forward, related to creating a positive working environment. So when I think about it, there are actually plenty of silver linings to me being in the hospital.
Oh, Travis, you're such an optimist. Oh, and by the way, there was something my dad wanted to ask you about.
Yeah, what is it?
He wants to know if you have some free time tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't go back to work until next week, so tomorrow should be fine.
Apparently there's something he wants to ask you to do before you go back to your regular job at the main office.
Really? Any idea what it is?
He said he'll give you all the details when he sees you tomorrow. He was planning on meeting up with you for lunch if that worked for you.
Sure, that'll be fine. When should I head over there? Around 11:30 or so?
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll let my dad know you're coming. Excuse me, I'm looking for Travis. Is this the correct number?
Yep, that's me. I presume this is Ms. Butler, right? I'm actually on my lunch break right now, but is there something I can help you with?
My understanding is that this is your very first day working at the main office after being assigned to a branch office, right? And you collapsed from overwork while there?
Yes, that's right. Although to be more precise, it was only a temporary assignment at that branch office.
Temporary?
Yes, I was originally stationed at the main office. For a number of reasons, I was temporarily stationed at the branch office in Fieldsburg for a few months, but boy, I had no idea how heavy the workload was going to be. Right before I was scheduled to end my assignment in Fieldsburg and come back to the main office, well, I kind of just collapsed all of a sudden and was in the hospital for 3 weeks.
I see. However, I don't understand how you could have had that hard of a workload.
Honestly, it was a big surprise to me, too.
If I had to venture a guess, the only reason you were sent to that pathetic little branch in the middle of nowhere was because you were nothing but dead weight at the main office in the first place. That's the only reasonable explanation. Only an incompetent slacker would be overworked in such an unimportant position. Of course, I suppose there's always the possibility that you simply faked your health scare in order to avoid having to do your job.
No, I wasn't faking it. I was actually pretty sick. They wouldn't have kept me there for 3 weeks before releasing me if that weren't the case.
In any case, it seems as though you managed to spend your entire morning simply going around and talking with the heads of each department. Do you really think someone in your low position has any need or reason to do that? I expect you to be doing your actual job in the afternoon. Hey, Travis. Well, it's been a few days. How's it going back at the main office? Are you getting along all right?
Well, let's just say I had a less than pleasant encounter with a colleague.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good. What happened?
Do you know a female manager named Butler?
Oh, yeah, I do. She got transferred to the main office from a local branch office around the same time you came back from the hospital. She's actually pretty well known around here for, well, a couple of reasons. First, getting appointed to a high-level managerial position at 38 years old like she was is pretty rare here. So her superiors apparently saw some sort of potential in her. But she also has a rather, how should I put this? Let's call it a strong personality.
Yeah, that sounds about right. To be honest, though, we've been working together in the same office for the last several days. But I haven't really seen anything from her in either her work or personality that would merit her being placed in a high leadership position.
Really? What makes you say that?
So, this is something that happened on my first day back. All I had planned for that day was making the rounds and speaking to the heads of all the departments in the morning, then straightening out my desk and getting things organized in the afternoon. But once I got back from my lunch break, there was this absolute mountain of papers stacked on my desk with a note on top saying, "Get these to me by the end of the day." I mean, really? I hadn't even had the time to turn on my computer yet, so this wasn't something that I was going to be able to get done that day at all. But that wasn't even the worst part. Then I picked up some of the folders and checked their contents. It looks like Butler had started working on a bunch of it, but they were full of spelling mistakes, grammatical errors, miscalculations. It was awful.
Yikes, that's not good.
And the other people in the department were pretending to be working intently on one thing or another, but they weren't actually getting much done. It's like they were putting on a show.
Now that you mention it, I did hear a rumor about your department. Apparently, when you walked into the office this morning, all the other people in the department started trembling. Everyone except for Butler, that is.
I'd imagine that's because I did the unimaginable. The official narrative was that I had been sent over to the Fieldsburg branch as a form of unofficial punishment. No one who gets sent there ever comes back, so it was kind of like they were seeing a ghost.
Yeah, or a zombie or something.
And by the way, don't worry about those guys. I've got my eye on all of them. I even managed to get a couple of apologies out of them for what happened before.
That's my Travis. You work fast.
That's what they pay me for. Still, though, it would be for the best to remain cautious for the foreseeable future.
I can't say I'm surprised, Travis. You put the bare minimum effort required into the assignments you were given and spent the rest of your time playing around on your computer.
Excuse me, Ms. Butler. We work on the same floor and your desk is barely halfway across the room from mine. Can I ask why you're texting me instead of coming to my desk and speaking to me in person?
Unbelievable. You really don't get that I'm trying to avoid disturbing the other employees?
Nope, I really don't get it. When I saw your text, I assumed that it must have been something urgent, but that doesn't seem to be the case, so what can I do for you?
What happened to the work I left for you earlier this week?
If you're referring to the massive pile of folders you dumped on my desk, none of that is any of my responsibility in the first place, so I passed them along to the people you should have given them to.
You did what?
Furthermore, the number one priority for me for the next several days is the creation of a report from my time over at the Fieldsburg branch. Didn't you get the memo?
Oh, don't patronize me. Of course I got that thing. However, I am the senior manager of this department, and as such, you take your orders from me and no one else. Your number one priority is whatever I tell you it is. Good grief, how incompetent can you be? I can't take it anymore. You're through. I don't need any more old men in my life just taking up space. You're fired.
Old?
You're 32, aren't you? Well, that's old enough for me to call you old.
All right, well, I suppose you're free to see me as being old if you like, but what makes you think you can fire me? Senior managers don't have that sort of authority.
What's that? You think that just because I'm a woman that I have no authority in the company? Oh, let me assure you, someone as elite as myself is more than capable of ending your career. Clear out your desk. You'll receive your pink slip in the mail within the week.
Is that so? Well, that's unfortunate. I got called an old man by a 38-year-old woman.
What? Let me guess, it was Butler, right?
You guessed it.
Wow, well, if she thinks that you're an old man at 32, I can't imagine what she must think of the married man she's dating right now.
Oh boy. Does that mean...
You guessed it. The investigation is still kind of ongoing, but I can confirm with full confidence that all the rumors are 100% accurate.
Well, looks like we have all we need.
All that we need and more.
Then I suppose it's time to make our move.
Oh, this is getting really exciting. Travis, what's the meaning of this? You've got a lot of explaining to do. I told the HR director to process your termination, but when I opened an envelope sent to me from his desk today, I wasn't expecting your pink slip. It was mine?
Why do you seem so surprised? The fact that you're texting me to complain about this right now would imply that you've at least seen the recent HR department announcement.
Well, yes, I saw it, but it doesn't make any sense. Why are you the new head of the corporate HR department? I mean, what happened to the previous director?
The same thing that's happening to you right now, Ms. Butler. He's been terminated.
Terminated?
I don't think I need to explain why a senior manager and former HR director having an extramarital affair together would lead to this outcome, Ms. Butler.
Extra? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Is that so? Well, regardless, we've been investigating the two of you.
You can't be serious.
It's bad enough that you personally sought out an affair with a married man, but to make matters far worse, the former HR director then used his position within the company to give professional favors to you, his mistress.
I knew that's what this was all about. You think that a woman could never make it in the business world without sleeping with her boss.
Ms. Butler, I've worked with, under, and above many talented women in my career, and after working with you for all this time, I can say with confidence that you are not one of them.
You wouldn't know talent if it came up and slapped you in the face. You think I was promoted illicitly? Ugh. Well, what about yourself? How did a low-level employee like yourself all of a sudden get promoted to HR director? Which one of your bosses are you sleeping with,
I was an assistant director before, so I was already just one promotion away from the position.
You were the assistant HR director at your age?
I skipped college and started working right after high school, so I have a substantial leg up on people in my age group in years of experience. It also probably has something to do with the fact that I've been with this company since it was founded.
You joined this company straight out of high school?
Yep. My family's circumstances made it difficult for me to go to college, so I'd already planned on not going. With a bit of luck, I managed to earn the respect of the current company president, so he brought me into the company, And, well, the rest is history.
Hold on just 1 minute. If you were really such a promising employee, then why on earth were you shipped off to the Fieldsburg branch? Everyone knows that's where the company sends all the people who they can't fire to keep the damage they cause to a minimum. Think about it, everyone calls it the graveyard branch. Once you go there, you never come back. They just wait for you to retire or quit, whichever comes first.
Yes, that's exactly what sort of place it is. Which is why all the other main office employees who were bitter that despite my age and lack of a college education, I was on a first-name basis with the president, were so happy when I was transferred there. For them, this was a sign that their constant hazing, bullying, and harassment had finally paid off. I can imagine their shock when I became the first employee in the company's history to return to the main office from the graveyard branch.
How? What sort of trick did you pull to make that happen?
It's true that the Fieldsburg branch has been treated as the end of the line for tenured employees that the company doesn't know what to do with, and that reputation is precisely why I was sent over there. The board of directors has been working on a plan to turn the Fieldsburg branch from a liability to an asset for years, and they came up with the idea to send me over there to work on ongoing employee training and working environment improvement. It took a lot of time and effort, but after a few months I managed to finally make some tangible positive changes there. And when I say a lot of effort, I mean a lot of effort. So much so that by the end of my time there, I was so exhausted that I ended up having a health episode that took me 3 whole weeks to recover from. So, while my return was delayed by that slightly, I finally succeeded in my mission and have made my pre-planned return to the main office.
But I didn't hear anything about that initiative.
Oh, and by the way, when I came back to work, the company president made a special request of me.
From the president himself?
First, it was to find out whether the rumors of you having an affair with the former HR director were true, and once that was confirmed, to investigate whether your mysteriously rapid rise through the ranks to senior manager was a result of that affair. And now that my investigation on both points has been completed and my report submitted, the 2 of you have each received your well-earned punishments.
Oh, this can't be happening. Are you saying that you've been watching me ever since you came back to the main office?
That's precisely what I'm saying, yes.
I had no idea.
And with that, I've said all I had to say, and since you seem to have finally come to understand the situation, I'll go ahead and take my leave here. Enjoy the rest of your day, Ms. Butler.
Wait. But, this means that it's now public knowledge that I was cheating on my husband. Oh no. Oh, this is bad. Oh, very bad. What am I gonna do if my husband finds out? Oh, you're not gonna tell him, are you? Travis? Travis?
Ms. Butler's behavior was utterly shocking for a married woman. Naturally, both Ms. Butler and the former HR director were divorced by their respective spouses, and they broke off their relationship as well. Also, since they had kept their illicit affair going for around 5 years, their spouses were awarded tremendous damages during the divorce proceedings. Furthermore, since the 2 of them were fired for cause, they both lost their pensions. Combined with the child support payments they now had to pay to their spouses as a result of losing custody of their children, they both had to take on a tremendous amount of debt. Word of their actions spread through the region, making it impossible for either of them to find a new job at the same pay grade they were at before. They had no choice but to take hourly wage positions at local businesses. This was the event that sparked the great spring cleaning of the company by the father of my fiancée, the company's president. What's more, he's been telling me lately that he wants to pass the reins of the company on to me after he retires. It really is an honor to have him think so highly of me. I had nothing when he brought me into the company, and now I have a home, a family, and a future secured, all thanks to him. I intend to work as hard as I can to live up to his high expectations.